Hello and welcome to Crafting with Jane. So we're now on to the second of the backgrounds that we made using the Brusho, and this one has got the lovely white splatters on, which I really like. Now what I'm going to do with this one is I'm actually going to cut it down into 4, so I could do basically 4 cards if I wanted to. So this is, I believe, 5.5. So what I want to do is I'm going to cut it let me see, if I think it's 5.5. I'm just going to measure it to see. Does that come to 5.5? Yes, it's 5.5. So if I want to do it in 2 inches, it will be 4, 5.5. It's going to be 1.25 inches, isn't it? Which is too small. So let me do it at let me cut it in. 5 is 2.5. So let me cut it in 2.5, 2 3/4. I think that might take it better, mightn't it? Although I want to take some of the edging off. So let's do 2, and I'm dithering because I'm trying to do it so that I get rid of this sort of bandy bit on here, but I think I might be all right at that. Let's try 2 3/4, and let's do this one at 2 3/4, 2 3/4. There we are, it's perfect actually. So let's see if I can do this at 2 3/4. Is that 2 3/4? Yes, it is. And that should then become on here at 2 3/4, maybe not quite. 2 3/4 is that one. Just a little tiny sliver off, and then that's going to be 2 3/4. Let's take that to there, and then let's see on this one. I think that should be exactly 2 3/4. Yes, that's fine. Okay, so we've now got 4 pieces that can go in on the center. So I want to mat these, and I'm going to do it, I think, in black, because I think black will work quite nicely. So let me have a look and see. I've got some black here, so I want to do my black 3 inches by 3 inches. So let me just get some of this going on here. That's going to be 3 inches. Let's put that to there, and we'll take, I think I can get at least 2, if not some more. So that's 3. That's 3. And then I want another 2, so that's 2 on there. Let's take this one, and this is going to be 3. Take it up to my line, and then we'll take this one at 3, and this one at 3. There we go. Okay, so now I've got 4 of those. I don't think I need any more, but we'll see. Depends how high I want to get them. So if this goes in on here, that gives me a nice black background, which I think will work quite well. Now I'm taking the card, and I'm just looking to see, do I want anything in on top of here? And I think I probably do. I don't want it just like that, do I? So I think I'm going to have some white behind in there. So I'm going to do a white one at 4 by 4, I think. So let's have a look on this and see about doing this 4 by 4. and see if that will work it. So that then comes up an inch, doesn't it? So we've got the panels 2 3/4, so we can get 4 of them. Then that's going to be in like that. That I think will be fine, won't it? I could make it a little bit bigger, but again, if I don't want it to be, I'm only going to do 1 card and then we'll do some more at another stage, because I think 1 will work quite nicely. So I've got this. Let's put this on here to start off with, because we're just using these panels so you can see that you can use your backgrounds. Now you can use pattern paper, but all I'm saying is that when you create your own backgrounds, they look like your own little masterpieces, because you've got all of the texture on here and all of the colors and things that you're not going to be able to replicate if you're doing it with patterned paper, because pattern paper doesn't look the same. It really doesn't. So I'm going to do, I think these look lovely like this. So always looks better if you can get the paper straight, but I'm never one for getting things completely straight. Okay, and then that is going to go in on here. That's going to go on there, and that will give me a really nice, what I call a simple card. I might do something, another layer behind this. I'm not sure at the moment. I think that this will probably be perfect. Now, I've got some of these stamps that were, again, given to me. And I think maybe just 1 little stamp straight down in the center might look really rather good. I'm not sure on this real white background. I think I need to have another bit of a mount on here. So this is 4 by 4. I'm going to do another, this is sort of a bluey color, isn't it? Have I got any sort of blue or neutral or something that will work with this? Because that's really rather stark, the white is. I don't really like it that much. It might look better if I tell you what it might look better with. Let me just, this is purely an experiment. I'm going to do a border in, I'm going to do it in gold because the mushroom is sort of in the beige. So I'm going to do it in a gold and just see if that will just take the edge of this a little bit and make it look a little bit more balanced. I think all of the white on its own just doesn't look quite right, but I think that this might not, but this is what experimenting, playing, I love bringing you on my journey of card making, and sometimes, you know, things turn out beautifully. Others I go like, not really that keen on that. But again, it's all about experimenting, finding different ideas and things, and then obviously when you've finished, you can take up the idea and you don't have to do the experimentation part, and you can go like, oh yes, I like the look of that, or no, that doesn't really work. Okay, so let's have a look at this. If I put that there and put this in on the center like that, that's better. That immediately just takes it through, doesn't it? Now, do I want to have a little bit of a black border around there? I don't know. I don't know. Because it's quite dark in there, isn't it? I think I might do another mount in, I'm going to do it in the black actually. So I'm going to take another one out and I'm going to cut this one at, that was 4 by 4, wasn't it? So I think I need to do this at 4 1/4 square. So I'm just going to take this out and just let's cut this at 4 1/4 and see how that looks. So this is 4 1/4. So that's 4 1/4, isn't it? I'm just going to put that to there, and we'll take this to here. Let's see what that looks like. Let's put these pieces back in my drawer. Move that back underneath, and let's see if that looks perfect, doesn't it? Can you see how that immediately just maps it beautifully? Okay, that I think is going to look wonderful. I want to have the little mushroom because I quite like him, I think. I've got this one. I've got 3 different ones, and that's quite pretty. That's quite pretty. So I don't know which one. I don't want the pink because the pink's not going to work. I think that one actually works better. I quite like the mushroom, but I quite like that. I'm going to use this one, I think. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to just stick this one down in on here. So again, don't ask me where these came from because they came from a friend. I don't know where she got them. But she lives in America, so it's they're American ones. But if I put that in the center like that and put that down. Now, I love the fact that you've got all of the background coming through. I'm then going to put it in on the center of this one, because it's all about just massing and layering, having one little focal point. And this really doesn't take very much time at all. Once you've decided how you're going to do it, and I think that this has worked, just doing an inch on here gives that a really nice border. And then putting this one on here. Now, you know I'd normally cut something out, but I'm not going to do it on this one. I've got some scrap pieces over if I wanted to use it for something. I'm just going to add this in here like that. Then I can put this in, and that's my 1/4 inch, which is the same as the border on the inside. I've just got that little bit of gold in there, which just adds a little bit. And then I can put it on. Now, do I put it on this blue? I'm not completely convinced on this blue. I think the blue is probably not quite the right sort of tone. So let me get some card blanks out that I've got, and let's see if we've got anything that will work better. Then I think I'm going to go, I think probably for a bit of craft card, or I might even go for, I think I've got some cream in here somewhere. That might work. Let me just have a little look in on, can't see what these ones are. Let's get a couple of these ones out. So I've got quite a lot of these square ones. Okay, so this is a creamy one. So we'll go for a few to just see what we think. So this is a cream with a little bit of a pattern on. No, too pale. Needs to be something that's a bit darker. Okay, so shall we go with craft? So let's have a look and see what that craft looks like. That's quite nice. That's quite nice. Still not totally convinced. I want something that tones in with this greeny, yellowy, beigey, what colour you'd call it. Okay, that I think might work. This is a greener one. Let's try this one. And let's put that down like that, and let's put that in on the center like that. Now that, I think, is probably the best one so far. That's the one that I originally thought of. The crumb cake doesn't work. That green is quite nice. Let's see what else I've got. I've got some, I'm looking through on here to see the colour tones that I've got. I've got pink, I don't want pink. I've got purple, I don't want purple. There's a couple of splots of purple in there, if you remember, but I don't think that that will work quite as well. Blue, no, because it's definitely got, I was trying to get that green through. The only other one I've got that I think might work is, that's a speckledy one, and that's a speckledy one in, okay, we'll take these and just see. So that on there, that actually is not too bad either, because that shows this up and takes that down a bit. So that's a potential. And this one again is the, instead of just plain green, let's move that out of the way a minute. That goes in like that. No, that's wrong. That's wrong, because it's the wrong sort of green on there, which is why that is the wrong sort of green. Okay, so we're not going to do those two. We've got a choice of the one originally that I had, which is a very blue, but quite plain. And I do quite like it. That's the one I chose originally, but I quite like that as well. So I have to make a decision between the two. Do I go back to the original one that I had? Do I have the spots? This one on here, I'm going to keep with my original one, because that brings out those colours on there and doesn't detract from it at all. So I'm going to put it on there, and I think when because I've got this on here, if I take my here we go, I've got my little white piece down here, which I would have. So if I put this out on here and then I bring this in over the top, you can see how that then works nicely, because you've got that greeny blues on here, you've got that sort of grey background, and I think that that works perfectly. Now, you could put a sentiment on here if you wanted to, but I just want to keep it very clean and very simple, and I just love the way it's just sort of turned out with the gold. I could have done a gold piece in on there, but I don't think it would have worked. I think that, just very plain and simple, works perfectly. So that's my card for today. As always, please stay safe and well. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.